session because it's no. Whoops! I have a new one now. I'm on a new set. I'm on a new stream again. It cut me off. What about pretty people? Oh, petty people. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to, if you find us again, because I got cut off again, on the next Drinks with Dan, we're going to talk about generational issues, because things like that, you know, if you feel uncomfortable, like Michelle, you were talking about Michelle, feeling uncomfortable because we are working with people that are half our age and that are, you know, that is not so different from, I feel uncomfortable because I'm the only white person. I feel uncomfortable because I'm the only black person, because I'm the only gay person. You know, it's not that different. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a big, but I mean, it's a big issue is what I'm saying. There's so many different angles of that. Now, if somebody's judging us, you know, because I'm older, you know, or mom is older, so they're making a statement, there are some strategies that I like to use to show people what they're doing. Because most people, when they discriminated against mom, for example, when she was job hunting, they really don't know that they're doing it. You know, when they're saying to you things like, well, it's just, you know, I know that you have kids at home and you know, this job does require a lot of travel. And they would never say that to a man. They don't even know that they're doing that. So I would forgive them for it. But let's talk about that in our next session, because it's now 9:03, and
oh, okay, sure.
It's just time for us to be heading off. But yes, what about so Abby Grace and everybody else? We will be getting right into that the next time we begin. Okay, so remember this though, BZ. Bottom line statements, boundary statements, redirect with assumptions. We are in charge of every relationship and conversation that we have in our life. So we have to tell people what the expectations are, what our rules are, and let them know when they've crossed them. If we don't do that and we're not clear, then we can't blame people for crossing those lines. And you know, Marty, my brother Marty, he's like a child, where people need to test our boundaries sometimes, right, Mart?
Yeah.
So people will test your boundaries when you set them, and that's okay. They want to know, is this, you know, we are all like children. When somebody sets boundaries, we might test them. That's okay. Be cool, calm, and collected, and as long as you call people on it and stand up every time and let people know, excuse me, John, I don't allow that type of language in my office. I don't allow myself to be spoken to that way. I don't allow that type of misogynistic, I don't allow that type of heterocentrist language to be used in my presence. You know, when you use those types of words, most people are like, how about a what? And it's off-putting to them. And it lets them know that you are prepared. So go down that route. And remember to keep it within that conversation rather than going to supervision. It will almost always serve you better in the long run. But Marty, do you have anything to add or to clarify before we go? Because it's time for us to go, or I'm going to die of starvation.
No, just thanks everybody again. We'll just talk to you all tomorrow.
I know, Marty, but you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead. What were we going to say about questions?
Well, I was just going to say, if people have questions ahead of time that they want us to dive into ahead of time, you know, they can always email you or me or whatever it is.
Or tweet them.
Email.
Remember, they could tweet them.
Tweet them. No, great point. Tweet them over it, because yeah, you have to build your Twitter audience. Your Twitter up here, it's horrible.
It's horrible. I've never done it. So yes, tweet me any questions that you have. And by the way, Marty, you know what? Another thing that we were doing before is we were doing those Periscope videos or some live ones. Like we would, like, you know, you have like 30 seconds to answer the questions, and I like that. So tweet me your questions. It's EV Slayer, like Energy Vampire Slayer. So it's Twitter/EV Slayer. Think like yeah.
And before we go, do you see Kuslele?
I do.
Right there?
I do. I see your question. Is it Kuklele? Thank you, by the way, for your patronage. we're going to, I'll answer that question too. Thank you, Jupiter. You just got to we got to make a video, Beezy, you're right. And Kukulele, I'm going to be answering that question as well in our next video. How to get people to take you more seriously, especially when English is your second language. I've been struggling with that my whole life because I've lived in Mexico since I was 20 and English is my second language. So yeah, we'll do that in our next episode. Anything else, Mart? Marty totally ditched. Oh, say that again.
What?
Say that again.
Well, Muppet wants to know when we see the drawing.
Muppet wants to. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can show it right now. Hold on, I can do it. Hold on. Oh yeah, I'll do this.
But it's very well done.
Marty's always been a good artist. Always. When he was a kid, I remember he used to be able to color. You could color and it would stay within the lines and all of your color would be even and I'd be like, how does he do that?
Yes. Yeah.
You're a good colorer. I'm going to find something. And remember, have a happy day. That was your great.
Muppet. Well, yeah, but I want to know, is Muppet from the States or from,
Muppet,
okay.
Where are you from, Muppet? Wait a minute, I got to turn the brightness.
Maybe.
Okay, here we go. I think that's good. Whoops, hold on. That's a good draw. Hold on, I gotta lock my phone rotation thingy. Okay, here we go.
Oh no, it's small now. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
There we go.
And I'm probably we're on the crazy delay, so it's probably 30 seconds.
By the way,
30 seconds later.
Speaking of Muppet, when did Dad get a Muppet nose? It looks like you could go honk honk. But anyway,
Glad he has a nose. Now, the way you make it look like is that Dad's final moments were standing up. So you know, just remember he's not.
So explain that, Mart. What's going on there?
Oh my God! As I said yesterday,
hey, I can't get enough of it. So you can explain it again.
Okay, so the blue line would be the top of, you know, like in between the blue line and his face was kind of this solid yellow line of energy, let's call it.
Really?
Again, I don't. Yes, Jesus Christ. You see how it's about a half inch above his head or something like that?
Marty, I don't allow that type of blasphemous language on this program. Or
Sorry. Okay, but you see how it's floating about half, like it's just like it follows the contour of his face, right? So it didn't engulf his face, it just simply hovered above it. Do you see that, what I'm saying, Dan? Do you see how I tried to do that? And then when he'd exhale, you can see how the light would kind of go up into the air above him. So it wasn't as if this white light was flowing to his mouth. It seemed to just be statically going above. But what appeared is that when he would exhale, it actually kind of sucked some of the energy from there, never leaving. It wasn't as if the energy dissipated to the letter at his neck as it had through his mouth. It was a steady line. It's just that it would dissipate as he exhaled. And I hope that comes through in the drawing.
Well, speaking of sucking all the energy out of the room, thanks, Mart. Oh! Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that. And
here's the funny thing. I'm going to end up being known as like your spiritual brother. That's
I know. Marty. You know that Marty's a heathen, and he's a what else do you call it?
I wouldn't call me. First, what? Go ahead.
You're a what? What do you call it? You're not. Are you agnostic or a?
Yes. Jesus. Yes. There's smarter people than me that believe. Let me just tell you that.
Well,
I got no reason not to believe. I just have no reason to believe either. That's all.
After that, you have no reason not to believe?
You mean to believe?
To believe? You still are a non-believer?
I don't know. Do we have to get into it right now?
We have to get into this on the next episode because, you know, it's like with me and the ghosts. I can have a million poltergeists every time. I'm like, yeah, right. You know, right? Like, doesn't matter what you see or what happens. Every time you're like, okay, no. So we'll get into this during the next episode.
Sounds great.
Wait a minute. The drawing depicts how a person used conversation as a life source. Just my opinion. Beezy, where are you from?
BZ's not too far off. I mean, Dad didn't waste words. I'll tell you that much is for sure.
He didn't. And you know, he was
unlike his younger son.
Yes, and Dad was a funny duck, you know. He was a Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't think I have it here. I saved Dad's hat that I was going to wear during special occasions.
Where his what?
His hat.
The Obey hat?
No, the Make America Great Again hat.
Oh God! Oh,
you know, I put it on. Now this is not a political show, and but Dad was a huge Obama. He was a huge Trump supporter, and so I put his hat on.
In Mexico.
Right. But so I put his hat on one day, and I forgot that I was wearing it. And you know, I just don't like to be political. You know what I mean? There's no need for it in most cases. You know, if I'm not at a political event. And I had guests, and they were just looking at me like weird. And then later on in the day, I'm like, oh my God! I looked in the mirror, and I'm like, oh geez, oh come on, they're gonna think I'm insane. So I had to explain to them, and they did. They thought I was insane. Because not just because it's a Trump hat. If you're a Trump believer, I can understand why. But it's because it makes you look like Elmer Fudd when you wear those hats. That's why they thought I was so insane.
It's not a well-designed hat.
It is not right. I mean, they could have made that stylish as well. I don't know. So
Anyway,
that's all I have to say.
Let's pick this up tomorrow. You've got a great group of people that have been here.
By the way, these glasses, Marty, they sell. I know it's not a very enlightened place, and when I go into it, my bowels race to the ground, and I have to go to the restroom because the energy level is so low. But they sell glasses for less than $1. Less than $1. So I'm going to pick up like 20 pairs of them. Would you like some, Marty?
No, thanks though.
Goodbye. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Please join us tomorrow, just so that I have a purpose in life. And somebody witnessed my existence. Okay, thank you. Bye, Mart. Say goodbye to your lovely wife. Tell her thank you for taking all my jokes with a good sense of humor.